I think it's really cute how people just assume because you are a contrarian that suddenly you're a noob. So let me break it down for you because some of you are slow. And this is to the slow ones, right? This is the slow ones. Whatever you may title yourself, whatever you maximize as, it doesn't really matter to me. But here it is. If you're following along with PulseChain, try to keep up, okay? If you launch on ETH, not only do you have name recognition, but you have basically the same chain in the beginning because they're forking from ETH any freaking way. It is a viable option, and it would save face, especially in light that PulseChain isn't coming out anytime soon by his own admission, if it comes out at all at this point. Now, I have my doubts. I hope I'm wrong because, Lord knows, I hope I'm wrong. Let's just leave it at that, right? Because I'm right there with you. But I'm just capable of critically thinking, and I'm trying to understand why not next best chain at this point. Why not? Why not launch it on ETH? Talk about melting faces. If it ever launched on ETH first and got in before the bridge, holy shit. And then when you go ahead and you drop it on the other chain, once Pulse, whenever that is, whenever they decide to launch that, boom, it's already there. You already have the tokens that you're going to airdrop anyway. And this way, at least 50% of the people that got in, or 50% of the sacrifices, can save face along with Richard. So think about it. If you sacrifice for Pulse, more than likely you sacrifice for PulseChain. Again, I know some of you are slow, so I'm going to make this real easy. I'm making this shit real simple for you. You're dropping anyway from the ERCs, which would be PulseX ERC at that point, to PulseX or PP, whatever you're going to call it, PLSX. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It would be PulseChain PulseX at that point. That would melt faces. I don't think people are really thinking this through. They just discount it and shoot it down right out of hand without putting any kind of thought or consideration into it. What does this harm? What exactly does this harm? The tokenomics are still solid. What does it matter? You have the same supply on both chains. It's literally a copy. Just like you're copying your beloved HEX over to Pulse, you'd be doing the same thing. Your beloved PulseX, my beloved PulseX, would be copied over to Pulse when it launches. People who got into the Pulse sack more than likely got into the PulseX sack. Now, I know you Pulse guys are probably like, man, wait a minute, that's not fair for Pulse. Yeah, I understand. It's not fair for Pulse sacrificers. There's no expectation of profit, but there is expectation of a product, right? That's my expectation, that there would be a product. But when you have the owner running around doing everything in his power to make himself look like, basically like new money, and turn off any future investors, it's no wonder why the price of HEX keeps on sliding. But I don't want to jump into HEX because it might be too much, and that might cause serious brain overload. And I know some of you guys are smooth brain. So again, I'm slowing this down. I'm going to make this very understandable, and I'm trying to be as comprehensive as possible. There's really not much to it, though. You could launch just like Uni, since it is a fork of Uni, which is on Ethereum. Do you get it? You see where I'm going with this yet? PulseX absolutely could launch on ETH in the meantime if there's an issue with Pulse, and why not? What does that mess up? Someone said Richard Hart's game theory. I think it messes up Richard Hart's hustle at this point. He would be doing everyone, including himself, a favor. And again, he would save face. Who knows? Maybe even HEX would pump on the news that it's coming out on ETH. Ay, que rico. Think about that one, huh? Oh, you didn't think that through, did you? Imagine what would happen to HEX. Imagine the price of HEX, because people would say, holy shit, it's alive. There's something there, right? There's something there. Not to mention all the profits you'd be taking in from Ethereum PulseX. You could go ahead and transfer into your beloved HEX and hodl for dear life until PulseChain launches in 2024 or 2028 or 2032 or whenever the hell it may launch, right? Because there's clearly some issues behind the scenes. I hope I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, so be it. But prove me wrong at this point. Prove me wrong. Why? Because he's running around because he's in America right now? The PulseCON conference isn't even going off. What does that tell you? There's some kinks in the armor, so to speak, some chinks in the armor, so to speak, right now. And for the greatest man in crypto, the smartest man in crypto, the dude who's got the biggest PP and the fattest freaking wallet and the biggest freaking diamond and all that other shit, launching PulseX on Ethereum should be pretty simple. I would think. No? I mean, if you're building a whole new blockchain, you would think just launching a DEX on another freaking chain, on the main chain that you're forking from, would be a pretty simple task, so to speak. And I mean, with all these billions of dollars that were, was it, $2 billion in sacrifices, you absolutely could afford a dev team or just a dev, one dev maybe, that would go ahead, copy pasta, make a few changes, make things the way you want them to be. And then boom, again, you have name recognition. It's not like people wouldn't use PulseX. Tell me you wouldn't use PulseX on ETH. Instead of going to any of these other dexes, Uni or whatever, why wouldn't you go pump your own shit? And other people will find out because there's been so much marketing, so much talk about PulseX. This right here would literally melt faces. And this is coming from one of the best people in crypto. Listen, I called the Doge top in advance. I called it 3 days in advance to the hour, okay? And I save people money. I save people a lot of money, especially people who were stuck in Robinhood and couldn't do anything with it anyway. Instead of them getting wrecked, they got to collect their profits and then buy it back at a lower point. And I told them in advance. So they were able to actually get out of Doge because I told them in advance the day it would dump, and it did, right? And I got verifiable proof, just like blockchain proof with that one, right? So I got receipts. And all you got is salt. You ain't got nothing but salt for me, man. I can't even see you. I can't even hear you because you're not giving it the opportunity to sink in. You're not critically thinking. You're not giving these thoughts when I'm trying to convey to you. And I didn't come up with this idea. I heard it secondhand from someone else, right? And I'm surprised it's not going around a little bit more. More people aren't talking about it. And at first, when I found out about this wonderful idea of dropping PulseX on ETH, I was told that it was discounted right out of hand, similar to what I'm experiencing myself. So I went ahead and I did a little test, and this is where I'm at this point, right? I did a little research. I started spreading it around, see what people have to say about it, right? Kind of taking notes and, you know, taking the temperature, and then boom, just like I was told, just as promised. You guys just right out of hand, you slide to the left like Beyonce. And I can't understand for the life of me why you wouldn't even want to talk about that possibility. Imagine it launched on ETH. Forget it. Say pulsechain's coming in December. Who the hell cares? If it launched on ETH first, what's the harm? It's going to drop on Pulse anyway. You can't do with PulseX on ETH what you can do with PulseX on Pulse. It would be necessary just like every other DEX. They go between. And then you have your bridge. You could bridge between the two different products. Hell, you could build the bridge right in the PulseX on both freaking chains. And you could trade with PulseX Ethereum and Pulse tokens, man, whenever the hell that decides to launch. And, you know, I don't know. Again, I'm not confident that it is coming out. I'm not saying it's not. Oh, God, I hope it does. I would love to see nothing better than that. And, you know, it would be even better than that. PulseX launching on ETH and then dropping on Pulse. And you get the airdrop for both. Now, whose hustle is that messing up? Yours or his? Or is it a hustle? Maybe it's game theory. Maybe game theory is just hustle. It kind of sounds like that to me. Game theory equals hustle, hustle equals game theory. And you're talking about someone right here, right now, right? I FOMO hard, right? For real. That's what I do. And you know what would get me FOMO and more than anything else? Going on Ethereum. And again, for the best man in crypto, the smartest man in the world, this should be a very easy task. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe for more content like this. And, you know, if you want to continue being educated, hey, stick around. You'll learn something.